And what a show it has been. This is a look at his numbers the last 10 games. The reason why we chose 10 is because those are the games that Kristaps Porzingis has been out. You can see his points right there. Field goal percentage just under 45%, but just over 10 rebounds and 8.9 assists. Very productive Luka Doncic has been. And in fact, we're going to hear from Doc Rivers, who is the head coach of the opponent tonight for the Mavs. This is just after shoot-around.
You don't stop him. I mean, you try to make him beat you in your way, you know. And if he can do that, then he can do that. But you just can't allow him to just be what he wants to be or play the way he wants to play. And it's hard to even do that. Great players are great players for a reason. And the reason is everyone's tried everything and it doesn't work, you know. So we just try to make it hard on him, as hard as we can. You know, he struggled in the first game against us, but he got great shots when you looked at it. He just didn't make some of the shots. So we know we have to be better defensively against them than we were the first time we played them, that's for sure.
And as promised, the third member of our crew, Gary Payton, has joined us.
I'm sorry that I left you with him by
I
yourself.
know
I
Hey, man,
I'm here now. I'm
just trying to figure out how you got here through 5 o'clock traffic in Atlanta. You got a helicopter or something, man?
Hey, look here, man.
He's
I'm
special.
good. I'm special, man.
Hey,
Police escort right here,
For
man.
real?
Yeah, come on, man.
He's Gary Payton.
I forgot you. I forgot
That's
you
the
big time.
glove.
I forgot you
I
big
gotta
time,
have
man.
it.
So Gary Payton was at David Stern's memorial service earlier today in New York City. He joined us here, so of course we're going to ask him about that a little bit later on. But for now, we have a guest. Dennis Scott is joining us live from Dallas. He will be working the game tonight, and as you might recognize, it's Velvet Tuesdays.
Crunch Velvet.
What is that?
Crunch Velvet.
Okay. You and 3D got the velvet on today,
Yes,
Steph.
yes.
That's right, baby.
He's inspiring.
It's Tuesday.
All right, so Dennis, we talked a lot about Porzingis, expected to come back tonight. Do you have anything to further update the situation or any observations that you've seen?
Well, right now it's still a game time decision, but everyone around the Mavericks thinks he will play. He's been out all the games you've talked about, Steph. And they're just waiting for him to get that confidence back in his legs and find his way. Because so much talk about Luka, rightfully so, and how good the team is playing. But if this team really wants to go deep in the playoffs, they have to find a way to get Porzingis healthy, happy, and understanding where he fits in this offense. Because as Luka continues to attack the defense and set things up, in the fourth quarter, you may need someone else to go to make some shots for you or get double teamed, and Porzingis can do that.
3D, with the Clippers now, with Kawhi playing the way he's playing, this is better for me than this load management stuff. This team is a better team when he's on the floor. Even with Paul George out, what does he give this team and give the confidence to them so they can continue to win and get on that roll that they need to get on?
He gives them belief. When he's on the floor, they believe any given night they can go out and win any ball game against any team. They know defensively when he and Patrick Beverly and the rest of those guys are on the same page, they can stop anyone. And, of course, in the fourth quarter, you give the ball to Kawhi. He does make good decisions. You know he can knock down the three. And he's not afraid to go in and get the mid-range game going because he knows that's where he can get fouled and get to the free throw line. So at the end of the day, the Clippers understand when Kawhi's on the floor, good things happen. No Paul George tonight. The hamstring, he's still nursing. But when he comes back, we know Paul George is one of those type of guys. He'll fit right on in and won't miss a beat. But to your point, when Kawhi's on the floor, things normally go well.
3D, going back to the Dallas Mavericks, I got a couple questions about Porzingis. First of all, is he going to be on any type of minutes restriction tonight? How is that going to go? And also, are the Dallas Mavericks going to look to try to get him off to a quick and fast start by maybe calling a couple of plays for him? I know Rick Carlisle said he didn't particularly love the post-ups, but I think that's something they might have to add in. Porzingis is 7'2". Can't have him just camping out behind the three-point line.
Well, I'm going to go with the latter part first. The reason he doesn't post up a lot, guys, because that base of his foundation of his legs aren't strong enough yet. So when you go back and watch the video of the games he played this season, every time he's tried to post out, guys have pushed him off the block, and he ends up at the three-point line. So Rick Carlisle and the coaching staff is trying to figure out ways, to your point, B. Wood, is how do we get him some pick and pops or some pick and rolls to the basket to get his rhythm back. In the first part of your question, no minute restriction. It's all about how he plays and how he's running and how he looks is how Rick Carlisle will play him tonight.
All right, 3D, before we let you go, I got to ask you about Luka Doncic, the boy wonder. Has he said anything or alluded to the fact that when Kristaps does come back, does he want to do more to kind of keep him engaged in that offense?
No question about it. The leadership of Luka is off the charts. He understands that he needs Porzingis to go deep or to play well or to keep teams honest and nervous that is this Dallas team for real. So more importantly, he understands when he comes back, they have to feed off one another along with keeping everyone else engaged. And I think that's the beauty about Luka Doncic. He wants to make sure everyone eats. There's no way you get a triple-double if you're not unselfish and also knowing the fourth quarter the ball is going to be in your hands.
Love that. And in fact, leads the league in triple doubles with 12 already. It's unbelievable. Thank you, Dennis Scott. We appreciate it. We know you're busy today. Have a good one tonight.
Hey, I see you, Velvet Girl. I see you, Velvet Girl.
Velvet Jones.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, 3D.
All right, guys.
Always inspiring. I love Dennis. He brings it too. He always knows what's happening when he's in location. And he shared with us Luka Doncic, an extraordinary leader. He's a sophomore in terms of his years in the league. And it seems like his wisdom is just off the charts. We know he can perform, but it's how he does it. What impresses you the most?
What impressed me is he's so poised, like you said. I think it's because he started so early overseas where he was from, where he played that mature basketball. He learns how to play. That's why a lot of teams over here in the NBA want to draft a lot of overseas guys because they know how to play the game. They know how to play a pick and roll. They know the right decision on the play. They know that they can get that from them right away when they come over to play in the NBA. And I think that with him, he's not a sophomore. He already knows how, and this game fits his game. It's an up and down game. It's a one-on-one game, and he knows no one can guard him one-on-one because he's so strong, he's so big, he can get to the basket, and he can shoot the three. That's what's so good about it, and you don't usually see him struggle. He might struggle one game, and then he's going to give you 10 good ones.
Right.
And that's a good thing about this kid is because when he struggles, he comes right back and gives you 7, 8, 9 good games in a row, and they go on a roll.
I pretty much have to piggyback off of what GP is talking about. The poise combined with the skill set is what really separates Luka from me and why I really am impressed with this game. No matter what you throw at him, it seems like he's ready for it. If you try to pressure into him with smaller guards, he said, that's okay. I'll put my back to him, walk him down, get to his scoring area in a low block, and just shoot right over him. You put a bigger player on him, he exploits him in the pick and roll game or one-on-one off the dribble. He understands how to play angles, changing speeds, directions. He's not the fastest, not the quickest. Honestly, he's probably a below NBA level athlete as far as he doesn't match up with some of these guys that fly above the rim, but he doesn't need to, because he knows how to use their athleticism against him. Oh, you want to get into me real quick? I'll drive hard left, change directions, get right into a step back. So he understands angles, speed, pace, and he uses all of that to basically go out there and highlight his skill set.
And he reminds me of a bigger John Stockton, who the same thing. He does the same. He knows angles. He wasn't as athletic as us, but he was smart. And he was real smart where he always got us in foul trouble. He knew what to do. He knew the right time to pick what pass he's going to do, how athletic he was. He took the right shots. He did all of that. And then he knew when to double off somebody. And this what this kid reminds me of a bigger John Stockton who can handle the basketball. I think he shoots a little bit better than John Stockton. And, he sees the floor, and that's why he's so good.
Well, according to the Mavs website, reporter Dwayne Price is reporting that Rick Carlisle is saying Porzingis will definitely play tonight, but unsure of a minute restriction. So that's the latest news in terms of Porzingis. I bring that up because I'm curious what you all think. How will that affect Doncic's play? We know that he is a stellar teammate, that obviously he knows how to get assists, but when you have another star coming back into the lineup, if you're trying to play long-term victories, what does Doncic have to do to get Kristaps back in order?
Nothing. Be yourself. Keep playing the way he's playing. He's not been there for 10 games. Keep playing that. Let Porzingis come in and get with our program. Let him go. I'm going to feed him a little bit. I'm going to see what he looks like. How good is he? Is he ready yet? And just gradually bring him in. I like it. They should do what they're doing, what Utah is doing with Conley right now. Bring him off the bench, bring him in slowly, bring you into this process. We won 16 games out of 18 without you. So now, come on, you do the same thing. And I think this kid knows that. He's going to try to get him off, but he's not going to overpress it. I think he's going to just play his game, get him the touches that he need to get, see how he can work into what we're doing right now, and don't mess up anything. You don't need to mess up anything. Just keep playing basketball. And I think Carlisle knows that too.
Yeah, I don't think Luka has to do anything different as far as getting Porzingis involved, just because Luka's game is about taking what's there. If the defense plays him one-on-one, he's going to score. If they send a double team or if they try to trap him off the pick and roll, he's going to kick the ball ahead to a teammate, and that's where he'll have Porzingis spotted up behind the three-point line, and he can get busy right there. I think so. Some of that Porzingis is going to have to get find ways to get his own shot within the offense and find his own way to fit in. But I don't think Luka's going to have to do much differently just because he's just such a well-rounded basketball player. It's all about what the defense gives him. He's always going to make the right play.
And plus, we got to see what shape he in.
True.
He's not in basketball shape. I know Carlisle will start subbing him. That's why I like to don't say a minute restriction, because if he's going, let him go. If he doesn't, bring him out.
Right.
You know he's tired. He hasn't played in 10 games. You know he's not in really, really good game shape. So just bring him along. I mean, in like about 4 or 5 games, he'll start really now becoming himself. And then you can see if we're going to put him on the blocks, if we're going to give him some plays, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the minute restriction may be self-imposed because of conditioning. He may be
Right.
asking for his own sub without having to have the coach pull his tail. Okay, so the big end game for the Dallas Mavericks is to win a championship.
Hey, now.
The last time they won a championship,
Hey, man, who that guy right there, man?
our own
You got your
Brendan
thing?
Hey, man, who's
Haywood.
that guy right there, man?
Yes.
Got your belt.